Listen up, get ready, I'm not gonna take no more. There's a revolution, a revelation going on in my soul. Buckle up, get ready, we're not gonna sit back. Hey, everybody, welcome back to Live from the Heartland for the week of June 22nd. And what you've been listening to is a new tune, and there's a video that goes with it called My Body Is Mine. And it's pretty inspirational. And it was produced by our next guest, the one, the only, Terry Abrahamson. And he is quite a guy. And he goes way back to, I know him from when he used to come to the Heartland Cafe. And he'd talk about things that he did, including writing some tunes with Muddy Waters. There's some great pictures of him and Muddy over the years traveling around. So good day to you there, Terry. How you doing?
I'm great, man. Can you hear me okay? Somebody's blowing some leaves across the street there.
We got that going on here, too. We got it up at Rogers Park. Well, there's a lot of leaves that need to be blown, so it's good to have you on. So what's the deal here? I got this in the mail when I was getting information about you coming on for a couple of other things, and lo and behold, I actually listened to it and watched it, and it's called My Body Is Mine, and I understand you are the producer. What's up?
I actually am the co-writer. The actual music producer was my writing partner, Derek Procell. Derek is the guy with the studio, the guy with all the musical chops. I wrote the lyrics, and Derek wrote the music, and Teenie Tucker, who sings it, kind of jumped in on both, and the three of us wrote it together. And man, look what's going on in this country. We need all the weapons, tools that we can muster to try to bring a little sanity back to this country, a little compassion, a little feeling, a little respect for a woman's right to carry out her own reproductive destiny.
We agree with that one. How long has this been out, and how's it getting played, and what kind of response are you getting? It's really beautiful.
Thank you. We came up with this for the 2022 elections. We just this was, I guess, as our, many of our rights. And Derek and I are what we have named ourselves artist activists. It's not all that we do. We've had a lot of music recorded by the Cashbox Kings, Shamika Copeland, Eddie Shaw, that don't really focus on social issues, but we do a lot of work that does focus on social issues. We have a song called No Guns in Heaven. We have a song called Night of the 4th of July, which addresses post-traumatic stress disorder among American combat vets. And when we saw this attack on reproductive justice, we were inspired, and we came up with this song, brought it to Teenie. She recorded it and kind of made it her own. We did a video featuring women that I shot on the streets of Chicago, on the boardwalk at Venice Beach, and I believe in Provincetown, Massachusetts. And we are just committed to doing everything we can with the abilities that we have to bring attention to the fact that this is allegedly the land of the free, and we have to find that.
Well, it's a really nice video, and for those people who watch the show on YouTube or see it on CAN TV, I think they'll be able to see it. We'll be able to play some of it. Those of you who are listening in or getting the radio stream, whether on WLUW or on Lumpen Radio, you can listen to it. Once again, it's called My Body Is Mine, and we broke up a little bit. So tell me again, Terry, who is doing the singing?
The singing is a woman who it inspired us to a great extent, just because we've been friends with her for a while. We've worked on music with her. Her name is Teeny Tucker. She's out of Columbus, Ohio. She has blues royalty in her blood. Her dad, Tommy Tucker, created the song High Heel Sneakers, which you may know. And Teeny and Derek and I just seem to have this quite fortuitous chemistry, and we brought it to her, and she elevated it beyond where we hoped it could go. And she had a vision for it that was driven by an amazing amount of talent, passion, and sharing our sense of social justice. And she just knocked it out of the park. I know that she was at a rally with Jamie Raskin a few days ago and hipped him to it. And I know he's very excited about it. So thank you, Teeny. This would not have happened without her.
I think it's going to get an awful lot of play. It's really a great tune, and the pictures of the youth shot are really wonderful. Lots and lots of women, all kind of women. It's really quite a production. And speaking of that, quite a production. There's a picture of you at bus stops around town, and I thought it might have been connected to the blues in the library that we're going to talk about in a moment, but I understand it's something new and different. So, well, how come your picture is up at bus stops when people are under the roof of a bus stop where they're lucky enough to have that set up? There's like usually an ad for something, but it's a picture of you, and I'm not sure what it says. What's going on, Terry?
I do a lot of my work sitting on my front porch. I'm a Chicago guy. My roots are in Uptown here. My first job was a cashier for the City of Chicago parking garage when I was 14, up on 1130 West Lawrence, across from the Uptown Bank Building and next to the Aragon. And I like to be outside. I like to be soaking up the what's in the air in Uptown. And people walk by and I talked to them, and a woman walked by and she introduced herself and just started talking to me, asking me questions. What do I do? I told her, and she came by again, and a couple of days later, we talked some more. She asked some more questions, and I told her about Muddy Waters. I told her about the Larry Flint thing, and she came by a third time and she asked me, would I like to participate in an art installation she was doing with the City of Chicago Department of Special Events and Cultural Affairs? And I said, sure. And she has a deep art background. She's been associated with the Art Institute of Chicago for many years. And she said she was doing a project with the Deco folks who do all the advertising for the bus shelters, and they'd given her a bunch of public service announcement spaces, and she was using that to do a series on the unsung heroes of Uptown. And among those unsung heroes are Studs Terkel and Jackie Taylor, who is the founder and engine for Black Ensemble Theater. And she asked me if I wanted to participate and talk about, we talked about Muddy Waters. We talked about my fights for social justice. I have a song that I did with Derek Procell, and it's called Hold On for the Rainbow. And it was to address what we call immigracism. And in that song, one of my lines was, I will gladly pledge allegiance to the old red, white, and blue when one nation under God means any God you choose. And so she included that line on the shelter. She's got a portrait she did of me sitting on my porch, writing with my Black Lives Matter hat on. And there it is. I'm on about 6 bus shelters around the city. I'm right around the corner from my house at Buena and Clarendon. I'm up on Ainsley and Marine Drive, Taylor and Morgan, Sheridan Road between Irving Park and Buena. So it's a thrill. It's great to be able to see my name on those bus shelters and get Muddy Waters and Johnny Winter, who are always who I worked with on that bus shelter, get those names out there, because these guys are big heroes, much bigger heroes than I could ever be. But I'll take the exposure. I'll take my spot in this wonderful, wonderful series that has sprouted up all over Chicago. Thank you, Hannah. And it's a cool thing.
Well, that's cool. And I'm going to make a point of driving around and sort of check it out in person rather than just looking at a picture of it. You filled us in a little bit on your work with Muddy Waters. You traveled with him, you wrote some songs together, but you also mentioned Larry Flynt, and I don't remember that story. Is it something you can share or not?
I can. Should first say that these bus shelters will be featuring the Unsung Heroes of Uptown series until August 6th. So get out there and take a look at them. And like I said, I'm very proud to be part of this in Uptown, where my roots are. As far as Larry Flynt,
tell us real quick about bringing blues into the public library.
I believe that the blues is a sadly underused resource. The blues was the first voice of protest to come out of the North American continent, certainly out of the United States. It rose from the cotton fields in defiance of white supremacy, and it captured the swagger, it captured the imagination, and it captured the whimsy of people that were brought here with nothing, but somehow were unbreakable and used the language that was foisted upon them, twisted it, made it their own. This is where the blues comes from. And I believe that every kid can use the tools of whimsy, swagger, and imagination in the blues to help find their voices and have those voices heard by the world in the way they want those voices to be heard. We're doing programs at 3 Chicago Public Library branches with the amazing bluesicians, Ivy Ford and Stephen Hull and Downtown Charlie Brown, performing the music for these kids, bringing these kids into it with call and response, telling them that you don't have to walk outside, feel the drops, and say it's raining. Elmore James said the sky is crying. You can twist that language. You can use it to make the language your own and show the world that you have a voice that is worth listening to, that you do matter, that you are a person of value. Every kid's going to get a blues name. We're going to write a blues song together, and it's going to be a tremendous time. We're doing July 1st in, we're doing that one in North Austin on North Avenue, just west of Central. We're doing July 2nd at the Scottsdale branch on 79th, just west of Pulaski. And we're doing July 3rd in Inglewood at the Kelly branch, 6151 South Normal at 11 a.m. in the morning. The others are at 2 p.m. And that's what we're doing.
Terry, you got a website people can go to?
I have a website, inthebellyoftheblues.com. I've got a website, thebluesparade.com. You can track me on Facebook, Terry Abrahamson, Abrahamson, and it'll all be up in one of those places. Try to make it. And you can always follow me and everything else we're working on. I'll be there.
Well, it's good to see you. I'll see you in person soon.